Okay, so welcome to today's training, how to break into six-figure data and AI careers. So we're talking data management, data governance, and AI governance, even with zero tech background. And we will be exploring the CDMP certification pathway. So I'd like to put in the chat, where are you joining us from? So please put in the chat, where are you? Where are you joining us from today? I love having interactive sessions, and so please write in the chat, where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Please put that in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat. I can see Atlanta. Okay, where are you joining us from? Please put that in the chat. Is everyone here? Ontario, Canada, Atlanta, that's awesome. Where are you joining us from? Ontario, awesome, awesome. Where are you joining us from? Please put that in the chat. Where are you joining us from? One or two more people, please respond. Where are you joining us from? I see different names. Where are you joining us from? Dare, Amaka, Chidima, Kai, Nii, Prince, Samuel, Ihioma, where are you joining us from? All right, awesome, awesome. Okay, so if you've been watching from the sidelines as AI and data rules explode, and you're feeling like you've missed the boat because you don't have a tech degree or coding skills, I'm here to tell you today that you're actually in the perfect position to break in right now. And I'm going to show you how you can do this in the next 60 minutes. I always like to do a check because the training is not for everybody. So if I say anything that aligns with you, that sort of speaks with you, please feel free to write a yes in the chat. Because like I mentioned, I do love having an interactive session. So this training is for you if you feel underpaid, undervalued, or overqualified in your current role. Please put a yes in the chat if that is you. If you want a higher paying career with better work-life balance and benefits, if you're an immigrant who came to Canada, UK, or the US for a better life, but you've been forced to take on low-paying jobs that are below your skill level and experience, this is for you. If you're tired of applying for jobs and not getting interviews, if you want to transition into tech, but you don't have coding skills or a tech degree, if you're worried about AI changing the job market and you want to stay ahead, then this is for you. If you want to add data skills as a competitive advantage, or you've been trying to figure it out alone, but it feels overwhelming, then this is for you. And then finally, you're ready for a career change that could transform your life, then this training is most definitely for you and you will find value here today. Now, this training is not for you if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this is not the place. If you're not willing to invest time learning new skills, or you're not open to continuous learning and growth, then this is not for you. If you expect career transformation without effort, or you're not ready to put in the work that it takes to transition into six-figure roles, then this training is not for you. So by the end of this masterclass, I'm going to mute everybody. I see that some people keep getting unmuted. By the end of this masterclass, you know why data management, data governance, and AI governance are fast growing and in high demand. You know why you should align your career with roles that grow with AI. You would also know how you can leverage your previous experience in any industry to break into data management and data and AI governance. You would also know my proven land method, which would help you get called for interviews, sell yourself powerfully, and negotiate six-figure salaries, you would know the step-by-step roadmap which professionals like you have used to secure high-paying roles across the globe. And then finally, you know how Tech Thrivers can help you position as a six-figure data and AI professional in 8 weeks. So my promise to you today is I'll deliver as much value as I can in this free 60 minutes masterclass. Nothing I teach is based on theory. I broke into tech successfully. I transformed my life, that of my family, and now I teach people how to do the same. And I have hundreds of students in North America, and Europe who have also done the same, and some students are in the process of doing the same as well. So everything I teach you today works. So basically, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know so you can grow your income to over $100,000 using predictable, repeatable systems instead of guesswork, failure, and fake it till you make it tactics. So that is what you'll be getting from me today. So who are we? This training is brought to you by Tech Thrivers Consulting Canada. We're a Canadian education technology company that empowers non-tech professionals to launch high-paying tech careers through upskilling, career coaching, and mentoring. And we are a Microsoft training services partner, and we've trained hundreds of professionals across 5 main countries majorly, so Canada, US, UK, Australia, and Nigeria. We have several career tracks. So we have our data governance and data management program. We have the data analytics program, business analysis, cybersecurity, and AI. The average starting salary that we typically target for our students, it's a minimum of $90,000. But of course, a lot of our students go on to get jobs of over $100,000. But we like to be very conservative with our numbers. So we don't just train you. What we do is we help you transform your career. So that's really our goal with our different programs. So meet the team behind Tech Thrivers Consulting. So I am Jennifer. I'm the founder and CEO of Tech Thrivers Consulting. We have Dr. Eunice on our team. So Dr. Eunice, she's a supply chain and governance advisor. She has over 20 years experience at Shell Petroleum as a procurement manager. And now she is a university professor in the UK. So she's one of the brains behind Tech Thrivers Consulting. We have Francis as well. Francis is a senior AI business analyst. He has over 15 years experience driving enterprise data and AI transformation across oil and gas, insurance, retail, and financial services. We have Gregory on the team as well. Gregory is a business strategy and innovation consultant. He has over 20 years experience leading enterprise strategy and data and AI innovation initiatives across finance, banking, healthcare, and professional services. We have Anthony on the team as well. He's a project management consultant. He has over 20 years experience delivering complex projects across financial services, higher education, and nonprofit sectors at some of Canada's most respected institutions. And finally, we have Christopher on the team. He's a data stewardship and career coach. He has over 20 years experience supporting enterprise data environments at the government of Alberta, and he's a specialist in data stewardship, data quality, and career transition coaching as well. So these are the brains behind the brand Tech Thrivers Consulting. At the end of last year, we expanded our reach into Africa. So this is our center in Nigeria specifically, where we do the same thing, which is training individuals in tech as well. So here is my background. This was me a few years back. I started off as a Montessori educator and then an education consultant. I founded Teach Always and the Teachers Hub. So I've been an entrepreneur for a number of years, over 10 years. UNICEF, I worked with UNICEF as an early childhood consultant, and then I founded my Tutorland as well. I love sharing my background. I always like to start by sharing my background because I know for a lot of you, you come from non-tech background. So just like you, I did come from a non-tech background, so I wasn't always in tech. So if you're wondering whether you can actually make that transition into tech when you don't have a tech background, then this is it. I was able to do it. A lot of my mentees and students have done it and they continue to do it. So don't let that hold you back, just in case you're wondering. I run South Pacific Schools as well. So we have two schools. There's Ruby Center and Ivory Center. And I've been running them and leading them since 2014. I have trained over 10,000 career professionals in the past 8 years, and I've gained recognition for my work from Federal Government of Nigeria, Tony Elumelu Foundation, Parafina, UNICEF, Lagos Business School, and She Leads Africa. Then I migrated to Alberta, Canada. So I am in Alberta, Canada. And today I'm a data consultant and I lead a team of data and AI professionals in one of the biggest organizations in Canada. I'm also a data and AI consultant for SMEs in North America and Africa. I work fully remote. I always like to talk about working fully remote because I know a lot of people are still wondering or are wondering if there are still remote roles out there. And yes, there are lots of remote roles out there. Working remotely gives you that time and flexibility. But of course, we do know that a lot of organizations right now want hybrid. So they're offering hybrid packages, or they want people back in the office because they want to have more control and more management over their employees' time. However, there are still a lot of remote roles, just in case that is one of the drivers for you in wanting to pivot to tech. I'm an official trainer for Microsoft, so I train companies on the use of Microsoft technologies, and I'm a tech career coach. I take people by hand through a step-by-step process to earning six figures in data and AI careers. And I have clients that earn anywhere from $85,000 to $250,000. Now, I hold several certifications. The very first one I will talk about is the CDMP because that is what's relevant to what we'll be doing today. So the CDMP is Certified Data Management Professional. So if you want to work in data governance, data management, AI governance, this is one certification that will set you apart. It has done that for me and a lot of my mentees, and I know it will do the same for you if that's something that you want. I'm also DCAM certified, so that is Data Management Capability Assessment Model. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm a certified business analysis professional. I'm a Microsoft certified Power BI data analyst. I'm a certified project management professional, and I'm a certified Scrum Master. So I hold several certifications, but that's not supposed to scare you because certifications, like I say, certifications, I always tell my mentees, certifications alone do not give you the job. However, certifications show that you're an expert. It can help you with your positioning when it comes to negotiating for salaries and even just putting you above other candidates. But as a standalone, certification is not going to give you the job. However, for the career path, data management, data governance, AI governance, having the CDMP is most definitely a game changer for you. So I'm the founder of Tech Travers Consulting Canada. I'm also the founder of Ivy Spark Tech. And like I mentioned, Ivy Spark Tech is the African arm of Tech Travers Consulting Canada. So our mission is simple: to raise a global workforce of data and AI professionals. Now, this has been my journey through the years. So I started off as an educator in Nigeria, became an immigrant in Canada. Then I became a senior data analyst and grew to becoming a data consultant. And today I'm the founder of Tech Travers Consulting. Now, I know for some of you, you may be in different parts in your journey. Maybe you have just migrated, or maybe you've been in the new country, or you've been in the country for over 10 years, but you're asking yourself what more is there for you. So irrespective of where you are on your journey, there definitely is room for you within the data management, data governance, and AI governance space. So you may be wondering how I did it, how I was able to transition from education to tech, mostly when people talk about the economy being so tight, the job market is tight, and then sometimes they don't want to give opportunities to people who don't have experience within the country. So you may be wondering, how do you get experience? How do you go about transitioning into tech? So what I'll be doing today is I will give you a step-by-step process, which you can also replicate if you want the exact same results, or even maybe better results than I have achieved for myself. So here's the problem that we're here to solve at Tech Thrivers. Firstly, we have found in talking to a lot of professionals, we have found that talented professionals are being left behind out of the tech economy. And the reason a lot of professionals are being left behind is that they don't know where to start. The entry points are hidden. They think they need to code, so they never even apply. They don't realize their existing skills are already worth thousands of dollars. Something I always tell mentees is that when you transition to tech, you do not throw away your previous experience. What you're going to do is you're going to leverage on what you've done in the past and add that to transition into tech. That is what opens the doors for you. And then finally, a lot of people feel that they want to feel that readiness. So they want to feel ready before they even put themselves out there, before they even transition or start applying to jobs. They want to feel ready before they do that. But the thing is, the job market isn't waiting for you. So while you're spending months and years waiting to feel perfectly ready, a lot of people who are less qualified than you are actually getting the job. So these are some of the reasons, or these are some of the things that I've found from so many consultation, hundreds of consultation sessions with so many people over the years. And today, hopefully, we're going to try to fix some of these. Now, let's start by talking about some of the biggest lies about breaking into tech, mostly data and AI careers, that I find. The first is when people hear data, when people hear tech, they think of coding. Now, the thing is, you don't need to code to work in tech, and that is the truth. Many six-figure tech career paths require no coding. So you have career paths such as data governance, data management, AI governance. These are no coding roles. You have business analysis, you have data analytics. Although for data analytics, I like to say that it is a little on no coding role because there are certain data analytics roles that may require you to have SQL or a bit of Python, but largely it is a little coding role. But there are so many other roles in tech where you don't have to write a line of code. So if you're someone who doesn't want to code, then data governance, data management, AI governance, these are career paths that you would actually enjoy working in. Another myth is AI is replacing data jobs. Now, the truth is, AI is not replacing data professionals. It's increasing the demand for structured data as AI is built on data. So AI needs clean data, data policies, data governance, ethical oversight. With AI, it is garbage in, garbage out. And that creates higher demand for certain data roles. So we're going to talk about this a lot more as we move forward, the relationship between AI and data. Another myth is you need a computer science degree for you to transition into tech. That is not correct, as most hiring managers care about skill demonstration and proof of experience, not the degrees. So they are interested in seeing projects, portfolios, case studies, and then the certification as well. So like the CDMP certification, that is what they care to see, not necessarily what you studied as your first degree. And we teach our students how to leverage their previous experience as well as build projects, portfolios, and get the required certifications. Another myth is you must start from scratch. The truth is, if you've worked in teaching, administration, operation, finance, audit, HR, healthcare, government, you most likely have worked with policies, standards, documentation, process control, record keeping, risk management, accuracy, compliance, privacy, data protection, accountability. And so if you have worked within any of this, if you've done any of this, you already have transferable skills. And transferable skills is like should I say like the secret recipe? So that is the secret ingredient in the recipe when you're trying to transition to tech. So if you've done any of this, you already think like a data governance professional. You probably didn't have the title, but you have done some work in relation to governance and policies. Oh, I see someone put in the chat, English is a new programming language. Okay, thank you for sharing that. You're not changing who you are, you're elevating your experience into tech. So that's something that I want you to understand, that when you transition, you're not throwing away your experience, you're just elevating, you're adding to what you already know, what you already do. If I use myself as an example, when I transitioned, I didn't start from scratch and my career grew really fast. And that's because when I was in Nigeria, I was already in leadership, I was in entrepreneurship, I was already managing teams, I was hiring people, I was running business processes. So all of those skills I used when I translated into tech when I transitioned. So it's the same thing I teach my mentees to do. You don't throw away what you have done, so you don't start from scratch. Another myth is it takes 3 to 5 years to break into this field. It doesn't take years to transition into tech. Benita, you're asking, what if you have a legal background? Legal background is perfect. There's no background that you cannot leverage in tech. Even legal background is welcome in tech. There are lots of people who transition even with legal backgrounds. It takes structure, not years, to break into data and AI careers. Most people are unsuccessful because they don't follow a structured learning path. They don't know how to position their experience, and then they try to figure it out on their own. Now, one thing I like to say when it comes to figuring things out on your own, is it possible to do that? Of course it is. There are people who transition by just watching YouTube videos or doing all the research on their own. It's very possible for you to do that. However, we live at a time where there is information overload. If you go on YouTube right now and you type any topic at all, you're going to see hundreds of videos. So it becomes, where's the entry point? Where's the exit point? I see a lot of people getting into this learning loop where they're just learning. And remember, online, everybody and anybody can make a video. So you have to be careful who you're getting information from as well. So that's the only downside with learning, figuring things out on your own. And then another thing that stops people is they don't know how to optimize their resume or interview correctly. Then another myth is you need years of experience to get hired. The data governance market is so underserved that companies will hire you if you understand the DAMA frameworks and governance principles, if you can demonstrate competency through portfolio projects, if you speak the data language confidently, so whether it's metadata, data quality, data lineage, if you speak the language of data confidently, companies will hire you. So now that we've talked about the myths, I'm hoping that if before you came into this session today, maybe one of those things that I mentioned is what was stopping you, I'm hoping that you're going to walk away from today's session knowing that your experience is not a barrier. As a matter of fact, your experience, your previous experience is actually a strength for you. So now let's look at understanding the data ecosystem itself. Every organization, from hospitals to banks to governments, every organization runs on data. And here's the landscape. So within the data ecosystem, we have different layers. So we have data sources, data storage, data management, data consumption. I'm going to explain what all these mean. And I'm going to, one thing to note is that for every layer, there are jobs attached to each layer. So for the data sources layer, this is where data originates. So we're talking like customer records, transactions, forms, sensors, apps, spreadsheets, social media, IoT devices, websites. These are all data sources. So that is the first layer within the data ecosystem. Then we have data storage. That is where data is stored and organized. So we have databases, data warehouses, data lakes, cloud platforms like Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. Then we have data management, how data is governed. So how data is governed, cleaned, secured, and made trustworthy. So we're talking policies, standards, quality rules, privacy compliance, metadata. And this is the layer that we're really going to be focused on in today's webinar. Then the fourth layer is data consumption. That is how data is used to create value. So we're talking reports, dashboards, AI models, business decisions, predictions, and insights. So data governance sits on this third layer, which is data management. So now we've looked at the layers within the data ecosystem. Let's now narrow it down to some of the jobs you find within those layers. Every layer of the data ecosystem has a career that lives inside it. So within the data sources layer, so data sources where data is created, you have roles such as database administrator, data architect. These people design and manage where data lives. And these are high coding roles. So if you're someone who doesn't want to code, but you want to work in data, then you have no business becoming a database administrator or a data architect. Then the next layer is data storage, which is where data is stored and organized. And so you have roles like the data engineer, the cloud engineer. They build data pipelines and infrastructure. These are also high coding roles. Then on the third layer is data management, which is where data is governed and trusted. And you have roles such as the data governance professional, the data steward, the data quality analyst, and these are no-code roles. What they do is they deal with creation and maintaining, creating policies, standards, compliance. So these are no-coding roles. And then finally, you have the data consumption layer, which is where data creates value. So you have roles such as data analyst, data scientist, AI and ML engineer, and they build reports, dashboards, AI models. These roles could be low to high code, so it really depends. Like a data analyst is a low code role, but a data scientist, AI and ML engineer, these are high code roles. So now that we've looked at the data ecosystem as a standalone, let's now look at the AI and data ecosystem. How do they come together? We are in the middle of a structural shift. I believe everybody on this call knows that. You know, AI is being integrated into every industry. AI is transforming all careers. So generative AI, AI agents, AI automation, they are reducing the value of technical skills. They are making them more accessible and increasing the value of strategic and business skills. So our current workforce is just touching the surface of AI capabilities. I mean, 2 years ago, what we could do with AI is not the same as what we can do right now. And so imagine what 2 years from now holds for us. So AI and data professionals have a two-way relationship. Now, I like to say it this way. On one hand, AI needs data. AI is built on data. And then on the other hand, data professionals use AI as a tool. So let's explore the first relationship. AI depends on data professionals. Without data professionals, you cannot have AI because AI is only as good as the data behind it. So AI systems require high quality data, structured metadata, data pipelines, data governance, data quality controls, bias mitigation, access management. Without data engineers, you would have no data pipelines. Without data analysts, you have no data insights. And insights are important. Organizations make data-driven decisions. So when an organization is trying to even decide on which of their processes they need to automate or they need to add AI to, or they need to deploy AI in which of their business processes need AI deployment, they need to do that through data insights. So you need data analysts to actually pull out those insights for them. And when they implement or deploy AI and they need to track how the AI is being received by their customers, the business impact AI is having, they also need data analysts to pull those reports for them. So also, without data governance, you cannot trust data. So without data governance, there's no trust, there's no compliance. And so without all of these data roles, AI collapses. So AI does not replace data professionals, it amplifies their importance. The second relationship that AI has with data is that data professionals use AI to improve productivity and efficiency. So data professionals now use AI to automate reporting, generate SQL queries, document metadata, detect anomalies, monitor data quality, draft governance policies, accelerate workflows. So AI has raised the bar. It didn't remove the profession. This morning, I had a class because we have we have two cohorts currently running. And I had a class this morning where I was teaching them SQL. And when I was teaching them SQL today, one of the things that I taught them to do was to use ChatGPT or Claude to actually troubleshoot when they write SQL queries, or to help use those AI tools to help them write their SQL queries. So AI helps data professionals to work more effectively and faster, and even improve their productivity. So that's just an example. And one thing I told the students today, like, they're so lucky, because when I learned SQL many years back, there wasn't any AI, there wasn't ChatGPT to help. So whenever you got stuck with a query, you're stuck, you start going through articles on Google and hoping that you can actually find an article that addresses the problem that you're faced with. So, but with data professionals today, you have AI to actually help you. If you're stuck, all you need to do, you copy your query, put it in ChatGPT, and it can show immediately spot out or spot what is wrong with your query. So that's one of the ways that data professionals use AI today. So data is the foundation of AI. Without data, AI collapses. AI learns from data. So poor data is going to give you biased AI. No data is going to give you no AI, because if you don't have data, then what is the AI going to work with? AI needs data. And then governed data gives you scalable AI. About a month ago, I was at a data and AI summit where we had business leaders from North America, and they were talking about implementing AI in their different organizations. And one conversation that kept coming up was data governance, because you cannot talk about building or deploying AI without data. So the conversation about data and data governance, wherever people talk about deploying AI, data governance comes in. Someone is asking, are you recording? Can we get a version after? Yes, I am recording, and yes, you can get a version after. So AI is not replacing data professionals, it's reshaping how data roles work. It's increasing the demand for strategic and business-focused data roles. So we're talking about data management, data governance, data analytics. A data governance or data management professional helps companies to trust their data, and so helps them answer questions such as, is the data accurate? Is the data complete? Is the data reliable? And it also helps them protect their data. So we're saying security, privacy, compliance with regulations. Then you help them use their data strategically, so help them make confident decisions and implement AI safely. These are two quotes. One is from KPMG and the other is from PMI, that's the Project Management Institute. And I love this quote so much. That's why I brought them here, because they just strengthen what I'm saying about data and AI. According to KPMG, they said 62% of organizations believe a lack of data governance is the main data challenge inhibiting AI initiatives. So like I said, wherever you're talking AI, you have to talk data governance, because you need the input data. Okay. Okay, I just saw someone's comments. All right. And then reading what the PMI, so according to PMI, they said AI projects are data projects. They're not just about building software, but about getting the right data and then understanding how that data drives outcomes. So these are two quotes just showing what I'm saying, for you to see that authorities out there, it's not just Jennifer's words, but even authorities out there have come to recognize that data is needed for AI. So what does that mean for you as a data, if you're becoming, if you want to become a data professional? It means that if you're looking for a career that you can align with, that would grow as AI is growing, because right now a lot of people are afraid, is AI going to take our jobs? And yes, AI is taking some jobs. However, data jobs are not part of the jobs that AI will take away. Data governance is not one of those roles that can be replaced by AI, at least not right now. So what happens? Let's look at this real world case study or real world example of what happens without data governance or data management. So I found this from Reddit. I believe we're familiar with Reddit. So this person wrote, we just found out AI has been making up analytics data for 3 months. And I'm gonna throw up. So this first part even answers, when people say, oh, AI is going to replace data professionals, data analysts, their jobs are going to be taken because AI would replace them. This is what happens. This is an AI model that was building analytics reports for them, but it was hallucinating numbers. So when you're wondering, is AI really going to replace data analysts? It can't, at least not right now, because AI hallucinates. You still need humans to actually validate what AI is doing. If not, AI is going to make mistakes. So this person said, so we've been using an AI agent since November to answer leadership questions about metrics. It seemed amazing at first. Fast answers, detailed explanations, everyone loved it. I just found out that it's been hallucinating numbers this entire time. Our VP of sales made territory decisions based on data that didn't exist. Our CFO showed the board a deck with fake insights. The AI was just inventing plausible sounding percentages. I only caught it by accident when someone asked me to double check something. I started digging and holy shit, it's bad. Exactly. So this is what happens when you deploy AI without governance in place. AI boom requires governance. And this company used AI without proper oversight. So you can already imagine what's happening or what has gone on in that company. Of course, some people would get queried. Some may even unfortunately lose their jobs because of this, because it's $1 million mistake. The VP made decisions on fake data. The CFO should board fake insights. If there's one thing leaderships do not like or leadership doesn't like, is when you embarrass them like that, you make them embarrass themselves. Imagine the CFO standing before the board of directors and showing fake data. How is that CFO going to come back and say we made a mistake? It doesn't make him look good. It doesn't make the team look good. It doesn't make the organization look good. So these are some of the reasons why data governance is important, why the field is growing. Data quality as well. No one validated the AI's outputs. Also, no one validated the AI's input. The input is data. Who validated that the data the AI model was using was actually real data? Nobody validated that. So AI just kept hallucinating. Also, strategy versus tactical work. A governance professional would have caught this immediately. So this is why we say with AI, it is garbage in, garbage out. AI is only as good as the data behind it. And if the data is bad data, it's going to be bad AI. So what does that mean for you? It means if you want a career that grows with AI, then you should be aligning with roles in data, and data governance is fantastic if you don't want to code. Now, what is data management? I've been mentioning data management, data governance. What do those terms mean? You're probably wondering. So data management is the development, execution, and supervision of plans, policies, and practices that deliver, control, protect, and enhance the value of data throughout its life cycle. And there are 10 knowledge areas. So you have data governance, data architecture, data modeling and design, data storage and operations, data security, data integration and interoperability, document and content management, reference and master data, data warehousing and business intelligence, and then finally metadata. So these are the knowledge areas. So data management is made up of all these 11 knowledge areas. So now what is data governance? So we've talked about data management is the holistic field. So when you think about data management, think of like medicine, the way medicine is the field. And then on the medicine, you have different, or should I call them different specialties? So you have dentistry as an example, So that is how you have data management as the field, the holistic field, and then data governance is a part of data management. So when you hear the terms and you're wondering, why do I hear data management here and I'm hearing data governance here? This is the reason why. So data governance is the framework of policies, standards, and processes that ensure data is accurate, secure, trusted, and used responsibly across an organization. And data governance is a no-coding role. But one thing I like to say, because something that we do as a part of our program is that even though data governance is a no-code role, we do teach SQL. And the reason we teach SQL is because we find that sometimes some organizations want the data governance professional to have some knowledge about SQL. So we add that to our program to give our students an advantage. However, for a lot of roles, I would say for most roles in data governance, you don't need to write any SQL queries. However, we just add that so that even if you find a job that is asking for SQL queries or knowledge of SQL, you're able to actually apply for such roles. So what do you do on the job as a data governance professional? You create and enforce data policies, standards, and procedures. You ensure data quality, accuracy, and consistency across systems. You manage data privacy, compliance, and regulatory requirements. You work with stakeholders to build data accountability frameworks. So some of the core skills that you will learn, some of the core skills you need to have: data policy writing, data quality management, stakeholder management, DMBOK framework, privacy and compliance, metadata management. So these are some of the things that you need to have. So why is data management your career opportunity? I want to believe that from everything I've said, you already can see why it is a good career opportunity or why it's a growing career opportunity. So every organization runs on data. And data management is the discipline that makes sure that data is collected, stored, protected, and used correctly. And companies are willing to pay a premium for professionals who can actually do this. So why are companies hiring right now? Regulators are demanding better data practices. So you have regulators such as data privacy laws, such as the GDPR, PIPEDA, HIPAA. There are so many other data privacy laws and regulatory bodies. So organizations have to, depending on the industry where they operate, they usually have to abide by these rules and laws. And it's through data governance and data privacy that they're able to abide by this. Also, AI is only as good as the data feeding it, so companies need data they can trust. And without data governance, you cannot trust the data the organization is producing. Also, data breaches cost companies millions. Prevention starts with governance, yes. And then finally, most organizations are drowning in data but starving for insights. Right now we don't have in the past, maybe like 30 years before or 30 years ago, you maybe would have been that, oh, organizations don't have a way to capture data, so that was the problem. Where do we even get this data? But right now organizations have more ways to capture data than was even possible years before. And so capturing data is not the problem. The problem is they have too much data. They have more data than they can govern, more data than they even know what to do with. So for questions, so that I don't get distracted, I will take all your questions. You can put them in the chat, but at the end of the session, I will actually take questions. So let's look at some of the job title and salaries. If there's one thing I love to do is I love to be very modest when I even talk about salaries. I love to be modest. However, when we go into we're going to check LinkedIn, and I know there are other job boards out there, but the job board we're just going to check for this webinar is LinkedIn. You're going to see the actual salary ranges. Now, some of the job titles for this career path, you have data governance analyst, data steward, data quality analyst, metadata manager, data governance specialist, data privacy officer, data management manager, chief data officer. There's so many, and these are all high demand roles. And the salaries, I like to say the salaries from anywhere from $75,000 all the way to $250,000. Now we're going to do something quickly. I'll stop sharing my screen briefly so that I can log into my LinkedIn, and then we will look at job postings so that we see the salaries. If there's one thing I like to say, I mean, I am teaching data, I work in data, I teach data. So whenever I give any, what's it called? Whenever I say anything, I love to have it backed by data. So now let's look into what the data is telling us in terms of the salary. So I'm going to share my screen again. I hope you can see my screen. Can someone please just confirm in the chat? Can you see my screen? Please confirm in the chat if you can see my screen. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Emilia. Thank you for that. So I just did a search, data governance jobs, and I put United States. Of course, wherever you are, you can do a filter so that you can do a filter to see exactly what the salaries are like in your specific state or your specific province or wherever you want to work. However, I'm just doing a general search so you see what the job market looks like. So what we're looking for is the salary. So this role says for Capital Group, it says data governance specialist. So let's come right here. Let's see if they shared the salary. Some organizations do, okay, some do, some don't. This role, you can see for Capital Group, the salary is $136,000 to $218,000. That's for their Charlotte base. For their Southern California base, it is $159,000 to $254,000. And New York has $168,000 to $270,000. And this is for data governance specialist. Now, if you look at what they're asking you for, you're going to be supporting the development and execution of data governance strategies across client group data, partner with data governance and business governance forums, provide oversight of data governance activities, evaluate governance risk and recommend solutions. You can see all of this. These are things that you don't need coding to do. Now let's see what they require. Bachelor's degree in business, information management, technology, finance, or related field. So you can see it's broad. What they need from you is broad. 7 years of experience in data governance management, data quality, business analysis, or a related discipline. Now you see they put related discipline because they do understand that you can come from a different field. As long as you're able to translate your resume in a way that shows that you were doing data work in your previous field, you're able to apply for roles like this. So this is just one job. Let's look at Coca-Cola. So this is senior manager, data governance. Let's see what their budget is. So you can see what they're asking for: bachelor's degree in data science, statistics, computer science, business analytics, or a related field. Now come in here, see what they're asking for. But let's look at the salary: 143,000 USD to 169,000 USD. Let's look for another company. See, even LinkedIn is hiring a senior data governance analyst for LinkedIn. Now let's see what they're asking for. And notice they always say related field. So you don't need to have studied computer science or information systems. I didn't study any of this and I work in this field. So you don't need to have done that. We want to just validate salaries. So LinkedIn is $95,000 to $158,000. So different companies have different budgets. Some companies have bigger budgets. Some companies like to be low ballers. So it really just depends. Let's look at one more company and then we can check for Canada. So for those of you in Canada, you have an idea as well. Like I have one of my students that just recently got a job in Canada here, and her salary is about I think $110,000 is what she was offered. This role here, data governance lead, is $169,000 to $229,000. Now let's do another search, but this time we're looking at Canada. So this is management consultant. Data governance is by the city of Toronto. Let's see what they're offering. Let's see if they share their salary range. So you can see it here. $105,000 to $160,000. Let's see how many people have applied. Okay, so over 100 people have clicked apply. Let's see what else we can find about this role. So see the kind of things they're looking for from you. Thought leadership. Okay, can you see this? A degree in computer science, geography, engineering, data analytics, political science, or an equivalent combination of education and experience. What does that tell you? See, where they are saying computer science, they are saying geography, they are saying political science. Basically, you can come from anywhere. That's what that means. So they are looking at whether you have sciences, whether you have social sciences degree, it doesn't matter. You can come from anywhere. As long as you're able to show that you have the understanding and you can do the work, then you're good to go. All right, let's look at another. This is Senior Business Information Management. Let's look for something. This is Manager, Data Analytics, Data Governance. I want something that is specifically data governance. Okay, so data governance and data analytics. This role, because they have analytics here, I can already tell that they need you to know some exactly. They needed to know some SQL. They needed to know some Power BI. And interestingly, these are tools that we teach in our program. So Microsoft Purview, Power BI, those are modules in our program. So it means that my students can actually apply for this role. Let's see if they share their salary. Okay, this organization didn't share the salary. Let's just check for one more and we keep it moving. But of course, you can do your search. You probably already have the job boards that you use. Maybe you don't use LinkedIn, maybe you use Indeed, or maybe you have other ones that you use. You can do your search there. This company didn't share their salary. So we keep it moving, right? So we don't spend a lot of time doing this research. But the point is, I'm hoping that you already have an idea of what the salary scale is. And that's why I said I was being moderate when I put this here. But you see that you can find jobs anywhere, like what we check now, anywhere from 95,000 to over $250,000. So it really just depends on the organization. So let's talk about the CDMP, the Certified Data Management Professional Certification, which I like to say is your career accelerator. But like I mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, I said that certification alone is not going to give you the job. You need certification and other things. But certification can help you position yourself as an expert. It can help you bring your resume to the front, to the forefront, when the ATS is going through resumes. So the Certified Data Management Professional is the gold standard certification in data management. It's issued by DAMA International and recognized by employers worldwide across every major industry. So why do you need the CDMP? It is globally recognized. So whether you're in the UK, you're in Canada, you're in the US, Australia, and beyond, the CDMP is the gold standard. Then there's salary premium. With the CDMP, from when we looked at the job postings, you see that organizations usually have like a band. When it comes to salaries, there's an upper limit and a lower limit, right? When it comes to salaries. And that's because you can negotiate your way in between. That's their budget, but you can negotiate. You can negotiate and target the higher figure, or you can stay in the middle. Now, how do you negotiate? What are the things? Because when you're negotiating salary, you have to be negotiating based on something. You can negotiate based on the CDMP. You can say, I'm a certified professional. I have this years of experience. I know what I'm talking about. Those are things. So the CDMP is a good tool when it comes to negotiating salaries. Then instant credibility. Like I have a student who, although that was for project management, they got a project management role, and they were offered, I think about 100,000 initially was what they were offered. And when they showed me the offer letter, I did say that they should go back and negotiate. And at the end of it, they were able to get $120,000. And as part of the things when they were negotiating, some of the points that they brought forward was that the student had the PMP. So when you're negotiating, when you have a certification, you can use that to negotiate, to say, I'm not just coming, I'm not just a fresher. I do have this experience and I do have what is it called? I've written this exam. This body has certified me. So that is something that gives you instant credibility as well. But of course, that has to be backed with other things. It's not only certification. It is a career differentiator for you as well. So with the CDMP, there are several levels. There's associate, practitioner, master, and fellow level. When you're starting out, the associate level is good enough. And like what I tell my students is, when you write the exam, associate level is enough. Except you just like to have, maybe you just want to, for personal satisfaction, you want to just have, maybe you want to attain master level or practitioner level, then you can write the other exams. But the foundation level that everybody goes through is when you write the first exam, you get the associate level. And then if you want to have more, you want to grow on that scale, then there's another exam you would write to get practitioner level. But for everyone on this call, I would say, like I said to my students, associate level is good enough for you. Organizations don't care what level you have, they just care that you have it. So the opportunity is massive and the timing is perfect. Like we have seen from LinkedIn, the salary at least a minimum of $100,000. And it doesn't require coding. But like I mentioned, some people want you to have SQL, and that's why we add SQL. That's also why we train on Power BI. That's why we add Microsoft Purview as well. AI is creating a new demand. So I am hoping that you can also see that as well. So AI regulation is reshaping data careers. When you transition, you don't start from zero, you start by reframing the experience you already have. Your existing skills are more valuable than you think. You can transition into data governance because you likely already have 60% of the required skills. So let's do a quick audit from everyone. I would like you, if I mention any of the skill set that you have, feel free to write that in the chats. From everything, one thing to note, data governance is a people role, is a role where you are dealing with people, stakeholder management, your ability to problem solve. Those are the things they are looking for. It's not your ability to write queries or your ability to code. It's can you work with people? Can you lead people without power? There's leadership without power. Can you do that? If you do not have power, can you still influence people? Can you drive change in the organization in terms of how data is treated in the organization? Are you able to drive change? So now let's look at some of the skill sets required. Problem solving. Do we have problem solvers here? If I say anything that aligns with you or that you can already recognize that you have, I'm looking at the chat. Please put it in the chat. Problem solving, business understanding, domain expertise. Are you coming from an industry? That is your domain, whether it's finance, whether it's healthcare, like someone was asking about legal, that is your domain. Retail, government, education, what domain do you have as your area of expertise? Attention to detail, communication, process improvement, documentation, strategic thinking, stakeholder management, leadership, adaptability. These are some of the skill sets required for data governance. So if you already have some of this, you can see that you are not starting from scratch. You're not starting from zero. You are starting with something. You're just going to be building on that. Someone just wrote on my wall, on the board. Please, let me turn off that host tool. Chidima, I don't know what's going on, but you are writing on my board. You're writing on my screen. Let me turn that off. But please don't write on my screen, Chidima. All right. So let's go. These are some testimonials from previous students. So this first one here is this is the CDMP, one of my students from an earlier cohort. I think that was from May. I don't know if I can't recall if it's May or June cohort. But one of our students, this was her score, 92%. That is a very, very high score. That's what she scored in the exam. And she wrote this exam in week 4 of the program. This student, Tolu, says, hello, coach. Thanks for your help during my interview. All the questions asked were things I had done with you during the program. So it was really easy for me. Thank you so much. They sent the offer today. I just signed it now. It's still like a movie to me. Like I have two students currently who are in their interviewing process. They've passed the first and second stages of the interview. One of the students has already been asked for her reference, and we haven't even finished the program, and she's already been asked for her reference. So let me read from another student. This student says, "Hi Jennifer, just wanted to say thank you again. I officially started my new role this week as a data governance analyst. The guidance you gave during the program really helped me understand the field and prepare for the interview." Another student said, "I just want to share some good news. I've received an offer for a data governance analyst role, and I'll be starting next month. I'm really grateful for the support from you and the Tech Thrivers team throughout the program. The sessions, guidance, and feedback were incredibly helpful during my transition. Thank you again." These are some videos. Can you hear? This is a testimonial from one of our previous students. Can you hear what he's saying? Oh, no, you can't hear the video. I'm not sure why this happens because on my end, I'm playing and I can hear very clearly, but then you're not able to hear. So I'm not sure why that is happening. I'm not sure why that's happening. Sh You're saying share the sound. I'm not sure how to share the sound because I'm already sharing my screen. I'm not sure how that works because I'm already sharing my sound. This is another badge from another student, CDMP. This is so when they got for this particular student, they shared this with me. You can see the date, June 26, 2026. That's the date they got the CDMP badge delivered to them. So this is these are different students. I'm not sure what this is because I have shared, but I'm not sure why you can't hear. Maybe for those of you who joined from the WhatsApp group, maybe later on we can post some of the testimonials in the WhatsApp group because you can hear me, but you can't hear this. Meanwhile, I can hear. So, but I don't want us to stay stuck on this, so we can share testimonials in the WhatsApp groups later. So I want to introduce you to the Tech Thrivers Land Framework for landing a six-figure data role. Now, we have a framework that we use with our students. So our students are able to achieve the results that they do using our framework. Now, it's a four-phase framework. Phase one is learn. Here, they get to learn the core concepts of data governance, data management, and the industry standards. Next is A, which is apply, where they apply with real-world case studies and tools used by employers today. So they start building their portfolio from week one. Then we have navigate. So they navigate the job market, position their transferable skills, and identify the right roles for their background and experience. And finally, D, which stands for demonstrate. So they demonstrate their values, so polish resumes, ace interviews, and activate our job placement support network to help them land their role. So that is our framework. So the data and AI governance or data and AI career blueprint. So we have our program, which is for 8 weeks, the data governance and data management program. It's for 8 weeks. We meet twice weekly, so it's a blend of live and pre-recorded modules. We meet on Zoom like this, and no coding is required to start the program. However, like I mentioned, we do teach SQL as a part of the program, but teaching SQL as a part of our program is just an addition for you to have it's just an addition for you to have what is it called now? For you to have an advantage, right? If, for instance, you're someone that you're like, you know what, even SQL, I do not want to do. That's fine. When you join the program, you stay, you can join the SQL classes, but maybe you don't pay attention or maybe you don't show up for the SQL classes. But I do recommend, I always recommend that everyone shows up for the SQL classes because you never know when you need that skill, right? Then it also includes the CDMP certification prep. So we prepare you for the exam. We've not had a student that can We've never had a student fail the exam because one feedback I always get from the students is that yes, we have, like, if you look behind, I don't know if you can see my background, there's a Dama DM book. It's a hard copy book. We give a copy of those to the students, an ebook. We give the ebook to our students. Now our students go through the ebook, and of course, like any technical book, it's not the easiest thing to read. I always tell my students that I understand it's not the easiest thing to read, but one feedback I get is that because they come into the classroom first, they listen to me break down those concepts. When they then read the book, it becomes easier to comprehend. So we have just one outcome for the program, and that is to get our students job ready. We want them to be job ready data governance professionals. That is the outcome we are trying to achieve. And our next cohort start date, this is an error, our next cohort start date is August 29th. So on Saturday, August 29th is the next start date for the cohorts. What do you get within our data governance and data management program, which is for 8 weeks? You get governance framework and strategy, so data management, DMBOK framework, data governance strategy and roadmap, data quality tools and frameworks, and introduction to AI governance. One thing to note about AI governance, it's a field on its own. You have data governance, you have AI governance. Although in some jobs you would see data and AI governance, meaning that they want a data governance professional who understands some data governance to help the organization on whatever project it is that they're working on. So we have certification prep. Like I mentioned, we have hands-on project experience. So we're not just teaching you theory, you actually get hands-on project experience, which can go on your resume. So you're going to build governance portfolio, you build a governance portfolio, you build some governance artifacts and documentation. Then career positioning, we show you how to prepare your resume, interview readiness as well, then support and mentorship. And we also give references. So just in case you need our company for reference, we're also able to support our students with that. So at the end of our program, at the end of the 8-week program, if you write the exam, so if you follow the structure of the program and you write the exam when you're meant to write the exam, you become a certified data management professional. You have the skills employers need and are hiring for. You have the work experience for your resume. And then you can land your role as a data governance professional. And that includes getting the CDMP certification. So everything you get when you enroll, you get a land framework, weekly live training, AI for data governance, certification prep, career launch package, job search accelerator, templates, workbooks, case studies, private community, and ongoing support. All of this is valued at $12,000. Of course, we don't charge $12,000. Our price is, we charge $1,997. That is the price for the program. However, for those of you on the call today, we are giving a discount. So you get to pay $997 US dollars instead of $1,997. So that is the price. If you want to join our next cohort, which starts August 29th, that is the price. Just imagine this. You start in August, and then at the end of 8 weeks, you're walking away as a data governance professional. Then you're ready for the job market. Then you can start applying for jobs. And you give yourself, depending on how much work you put in, right? At the end of the day, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you don't show up for classes, there's no miracle that will happen. If you don't do your assignments, there's no miracle that will happen, And then if you don't apply for jobs, you're not going to get a job. So if you do all the things, follow the process, follow everything you need to do, at the end of 8 weeks, you would have your certification, and give yourself a few more weeks, and then you can get a job. Like I said, we have students who write the certification anywhere from week 4, and we have students who currently even in this our current cohort, we do have students who have been moving through their interview processes. And I mentioned 2 students currently because I just did interview prep for both of them, and they have moved through the second stage of the interview. One has gotten their reference request already. So as part of the program, so like I said, so what I'm trying to say, what you get out of any program, not just this program, any program at all, is what you put in. If you put in 0 effort, you get 0 result. If you put in a lot of effort, you're going to get a lot of results as well. So as a part of the program, we have Power BI, we have as bonuses, Power BI, CDMP prep, access to private alumni network, SQL training, ATS-friendly resume templates, recruiter outreach templates, and the introduction to AI governance. So these are some of the things, some of the bonuses you get in the program, and you're getting it all for $997. So I like to say this, the investment pays for itself, and it pays for itself really, really fast. Let's do the math. Let's say you get a job, and we already looked at salary, so we've already validated that there are so many roles that we pay you over $100,000. So let's do the math. Let's say you get a job that pays you $100,000. So let's say your monthly take home is somewhere around $8,000, right? And you've invested $997. So it means that in your first paycheck, you've gotten back your investment. And this is a lifelong investment because I believe we all know your career is lifelong, right? So it's a lifelong investment for you. So for us, we have just one goal to get you job ready in 8 to 12 weeks. Our program is 8 weeks long, but then we have other preparatory classes and things that go on. And so 8 to 12 weeks. So that is our program. That is our goal, to get you certified, skilled, and hired in 8 to 12 weeks. I'm going to take questions now, so I'll stop sharing my screen and I will take your questions. So I have my assistant on the call. She has put in the chat, the payment links. We use Stripe. I want to believe that everybody's familiar with Stripe. Stripe is very secure. You can do a research on them if you're not sure what Stripe is, but Stripe is very secure. So if you want to join the program, the links are there. You make payment, immediately you make payment, you send us a message, or if you have questions, I'm taking questions now. I'm going to let everyone, so let me check this. So now you can unmute. If you do have questions, feel free to unmute and ask your questions. Yes, I saw Olu earlier, you said unable to unmute. Yes, you couldn't unmute because I had turned it off, but I've turned it on now, so you can unmute and ask your questions. So I will be taking questions right this moment. So if you have questions, feel free to unmute and ask your questions. Any questions? All right, so let me just see the chat,
Yeah,
if there are questions in the chat. Okay, go ahead. Who wants to ask? Who has a question?
yeah, this is Kay. Sorry, I joined late, actually some moment ago. Do we get like a recording? So like a rewatch?
Yes, you get a recording. Yes. You don't get it today, but you get a recording by Monday.
Okay, okay. All right, thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, do you allow for installment plans?
Yes, we do have installment plans. You can pay in 2 or 3 installments. You can pay full in 2 or 3 installments. But what we just do, so for our payment plans, we have a hard stop at the 4th week. So irrespective of how you decide to pay, by week 4, you should have completed your payment. So that's the only thing that we have. So that's the hard stop for us. It's like by week 4, all payments should have been completed. But yes, so if you want to pay in installments, that's why the link that was the links, the payment links put up by my admin, I'm going to copy and paste that again, have different installments. So if you want to pay, say you want to just to secure your seat, you want to pay $300 first to secure your seat, you can do that. Or you want to pay $500 first, or you want to pay in full, we allow any of the three payment options. But the hard stop is by week 4, you should have completed. Yes, I see someone's hand is up.
Hello. Hello, this is Adebola.
Okay, hi, Adebola.
Yeah, I can see the payment plan here. So, if I want to reserve my seat, I pay $300. Is it in USD
Yes,
or card?
it's USD.
Okay, USD. So, okay. So, after reserving my seat, can I be paying the money maybe instrumental like $100, $200 in
You
a
can,
day or
you
2
can,
days? Okay, I
you
can.
can. Yeah,
Okay,
we accept that flexibility. Yes.
okay, okay. My second question is how many times in a week? 2 times, right? And
2 times,
what
yes.
time from what time?
So for the next cohort starting, it's Thursdays, 7
Okay,
p.m. EST, and Saturdays 9 a.m. EST.
okay. Like how many hours class?
It's an hour 30 minutes max. So usually 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes. Depends on what we do that day.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So you let us know if you want to join. Maybe you have more questions. Are you in the WhatsApp group, Adebola?
I am.
Okay, so you can reach out to us if you want to join the next cohort. Just send us a message. If you have more questions, my number is there. My assistant is there as well. The
Okay.
admin, she's there as well. If you have
Actually, I'm looking at
questions,
the time difference. Are you in US or Canada?
I'm in Canada.
Okay, fine, fine. I'm in Canada too. Regina.
Okay, but we have, okay, that's great. We have students in Canada, US. We have students in the
Okay,
UK as well. Yeah, so,
okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Esther, you're welcome. You're welcome. Esther?
Yeah, hi, thank you. My question, I joined quite late, so I'm not so sure if you already touched on this, but I just want to know what kind of support you give to people after the cohort. How does that work?
Okay. So after the cohort itself, if you do have an interview, you can reach out. So that's the kind of support we offer. Or if you get a job, because we do understand that, yes, you're just transitioning, right? So we do understand that some things will be unfamiliar even when you get a job. So if you get a job and you do have questions, you need support with something, you can reach out to us and we still support even after you get a job.
That didn't quite answer my question. My question was regarding, so after the cohort, say it ends this weekend, and then what kind of support do you give afterwards? Do you give support regarding CVs, cover letter? Is that a different package? Or do you help people? Do you offer some kind of one-on-one guidance afterwards? That's just what I want to know.
Oh, so if you want one-on-one guidance, that is a different package entirely. So if you want, because it's a group cohort, it's a group cohort. So if you do want one-on-one, that is a totally different package after the program. However, after the program, if you have an interview, you can reach out to us and we can support you with that. But the program itself, it's 8 weeks, it's group-based. But after the program, we can support you with interviews. For resumes, we do not write resumes for you. We show you how, because when it comes to resume, we always say that you don't use one resume to apply for several jobs. You always have to tailor your resume. So even if we're trying to help you with your resume, you still need to tailor your resume. So we teach you how to tailor your resume. So I hope
Okay.
that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right. Benita, you have your hand up?
Yes, you mentioned when you were talking about the instrumental payment plan, you had said that regardless of whether you want to start with 300 or 500, following that, you are flexible to even lower payments. But I wanted to confirm, you had also said earlier that by the 4th week, you should have made full payment. Is that it?
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
So while we offer flexible payments, by the 4th week, you ought to have completed payments.
Okay. As
So
regards
even if,
to
So, for instance, if you decide that you want to secure your seat today and you pay $300 first, and then by week 4 of the program, so you would have made other payments so that by week 4 of the program, you have completed the payment. So you can pay 2 more times. And then in special cases, like I think someone was asking if they could pay like $100 afterwards and another $100. Those are, should I say, those are unique situations which we do consider our students. Yes, you can break your payments even further after you've made your first commitment. However, by week 4, irrespective of what consideration we give to you, by week 4, you should be done.
Okay. And you had said, or maybe I should ask you to clarify. You said the program is for 8 weeks, but it goes 8 to 12. So after, would I be right to say that the extra 4 weeks would be used supporting the group as regards job search and all of that? Is that what that is focused on after the 8 weeks?
So the extra 4 weeks, during the extra 4 weeks, we actually do not meet. It's just extra 4 weeks of if you have questions, if you have anything, just reach out. Because we understand that sometimes our students don't finish all their assignments even within the 8 weeks. So the extra
Okay.
4 weeks is if you had pending work, you didn't finish up, then keep working on it. That's what the extra 4 weeks is for.
Thank you. One last question. How much is the one-on-one package?
You'd have to reach out to us on that because when it's
Okay.
one-on-one, we need to understand exactly what you need. So it's based on your need. Yes.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
it's a more tailored package. So based on your need, you reach out to us and then we can respond to that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Ihioma, I see you have your hand up. Hello, Ihioma. Do you have a question? Okay, Ihioma, I saw you wrote in the chat when you pay, how can you reach out to me? Is that what your question is? Please go ahead and unmute and speak. I see
Okay,
you've
now
unmuted.
what I want to know is you're in Canada. Do you have option for card payment too?
Option for what payments? Card payments.
So we are supposed to pay in USD. I'm asking if you have option for card payments.
Yes, we do, because Stripe is a universal platform and it accepts, so even if you're paying with a Canadian card, it's going to do the conversion for you. So you don't need to do anything extra. It just converts, it just converts it to whatever currency. We've had people pay from Nigeria and they would use their card and it will just convert it.
Okay,
We've had people pay from the UK.
What's your company name and number? I didn't get that.
It's Tech Drivers Consulting.
Tech Drivers.
Tech Thrivers. Tech, then thrive, to thrive. THRIVERS.
Then you have your number.
What do you mean by number?
Your phone number.
Oh, phone number is what you're asking. 1 second, let me I don't have that by heart. I'm going to put that in the chat. Okay, Nancy, my admin is going to put that in the chat quickly. Nancy, please put the phone number so that she can reach out. So if you have, are you on the WhatsApp group?
No.
Oh, you're not. Okay, I see why you're asking. Nancy, please put the phone number in the chat. We have 2 numbers. Some of you may have received text messages from us. It's from a different number. So we have 2 official lines. She's going to put the numbers in the chat so you can reach out to us on either of the numbers. Do you have any other questions, Ihioma?
I think I do.
Okay, please go ahead.
On Saturday by 9 a.m. What
Sorry?
can be done? On Thursdays, I can have time 7 p.m. to whatever time. But on Saturday, I don't have 9 a.m.
Okay, you're busy at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
All our sessions are recorded. So even if you miss a class, it's not a problem. Because we have some students who are only able to attend one of the sessions. As long as you watch the video, and then for the class you're able to attend, show up with your questions, but watch the videos. Watch the videos, do the assignments, do what's required of you. Then the class you're able to attend, show up with your questions.
Is it possible you give us number outside this 8 series, please?
Sorry, give you what number?
Another number outside this 8 series. 8 series is like not a number you can actually rely on, as in anybody can
service.
buy it.
Anybody can do what?
Buy it. It's not attached to one person.
What is not attached to one person? Our numbers
Like
are attached to us. What do you mean?
this 8 series.
No, that's not correct information, please. Our numbers are that's not correct information. The numbers are attached to us. Yeah, we don't share the number with anybody else.
Okay.
Yes. So you can, would you want to give us your number and then we can call you? Would you want to do that? Are you comfortable doing that?
I don't mind.
All right. Do you don't publicly put your number in the chat. If you're using Zoom right now, you can send a private message to me. Do you
How
see how
about
to do
mail?
that?
Do you have an email address?
Yes, there is an email address, academy@techtrivers.com.
Sorry, you're so fast.
I'm typing it in the chat. Academy@techtrivers.com. And then we also have, so my admin has put in 3 things. She's put in the phone number. She's put in the link to the WhatsApp group. And so from the WhatsApp group, you can get access to me directly, or you can speak with my admin, whichever one works. You can speak with a member of the team. You can speak with me, or you can send us an email, whichever one works for you. Do you have any other questions, Ioma? I see Emilia has her hand up.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so my question is, when is the last payment? You said the cohort starts 29th of August. So
29th of August, yes.
Yes, when is like the last day to register for to make payments, payment, the deposit?
It's better you pay before the class, right?
Okay.
But you can't pay after the class. I mean, after the first
that
class
makes
starts,
sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I
it's
just
better
wanted
to
to know
pay
if he has like a last day, probably in a week, or I just wanted to know why I work towards it. That's why I was asking.
Okay, no. As long as you pay before the program starts.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? If I've missed you, maybe you have your question in the chat and I have missed it, please, you can put your hands up or mute and ask your questions. I see someone in the chat wrote, please, can you repeat the class schedule? So yes, the class schedule, we meet twice in a week. It's Thursdays at 7 p.m. EST and Saturdays at 9 a.m. EST.
I have another
And then you
question.
said, does the deal have a payment plan? Yes, it does have a payment plan. You can pay in 2 or 3 installments, or you can pay in full. That's a payment plan, but all payments must be completed by week 4 of the program. Yes.
Hi.
I see someone. Okay, Prince. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to confirm, irrespective of when you make payment, as long as you paid before the program starts, the discount still stands.
Typically, it's not meant to, but we just try to be a bit more considerate to students. So because we have a limited number of students that we give that discount. So once we hit the number, we stop. So it's typically, if you want to take advantage of the discount, you have to let us know.
Yeah, but we have to plan.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You have to let us know. That's why we give that breakdown to say, okay, you can pay in installments just to secure your seat. Even if you don't have everything, secure your seat first, and then we'll work from there. That way we know that, okay, we've kept a seat for this person. They're going to pay later, but we've kept a seat for this person.
So securing the seat is like initiating the payment plan.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said securing the seat means initiating the first payment plan.
Yes, that's what it is.
All right, got it. Thanks.
Okay.
I have another question.
Any other
please.
questions?
Yes.
Okay.
So my question, oh my gosh, I can't remember my question. Oh yes, I went to your website and I noticed that you have 4 different classes running, right? Are you starting those 4 different classes on the 29th, like you said?
It's not 4 different classes. It's just one class we're starting. We're starting
Okay, the
data
data
governance on the
governance.
29th.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Any other questions? Olu, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, my question is somewhat personal. Maybe I will need to call you, but my second question, let me put it. So it's about, so where are you going to share it to? Is it in the,
Sorry, where am I going to do what?
where are you going to share this recording? Is it in the group chat or, and how soon can we get?
You'll be shared in the group on Monday. By Monday, you'll get the recording. If you're in the group, you're going to get it there. Are you in the group?
Yeah, I joined the group. I think I joined the group from the link you shared today. Yeah.
Okay, so it will be shared to you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Let me just go through the chat if I have missed any of the questions. I think I've answered all the questions, but if anybody has, I see some hands up. I don't know if it's residue from the previous questions or you have more questions now. Any other questions before we call it a day? So if you're looking to join the next cohort, just indicate, send us a message. If you have more questions, maybe when you attended now, you didn't have a question, but then hours later you realize you have some questions. As long as you're in the group, you have our phone number. Do reach out to us with your questions. We'll be happy to guide you through. For the person who says she wants a one-on-one session, please do feel free to reach out to me, reach out to the admin, and we'll schedule something with you so that we understand what your needs are, and then we can tailor a package to you. Yes. All right. So thank you all so much. I can't see any more questions and I can't see any more hands up. So thank you so much. And for those of you who will be joining the next cohort, we do look forward to having you in our program. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Bye for now.